Talking about Gurpatwant Singh Pannun and how his propaganda runs amok. Our top focus on the nation at 5. Let's tell you more about the story one by one. What exactly is it that Pannun has said this time? This time he has once again provoked the Sikh community. He has said that, once again spoken about the legacy of Khalistani, talking about the parliament attack, and he said that once again something of this nature should be planned so that Indian democracy is once again shaken. Pannun continues to be somebody who is propagated by anti-India elements. A huge section of analysts and researchers believe that he is somebody who's been propped up by the Pakistanis to push this Pakistani agenda on the Canadian soil. And he also goes on to say that he is going to avenge his assassination plot, the alleged assassination plot that has been spoken of. Some points on the story, one by one. Let's take them. Now, designated terrorist given a platform on foreign soil. He spoke about the legacy of Afzal Guru, the so-called legacy that he evoked. And he also said that what Afzal Guru has done, that convicted terrorists, that's something that he wants to replicate. Despite evidences and proofs, no action has been taken against Pannun, and he continues to put this anti-India agenda on the public platform openly without any kind of ramifications from the government. He's not just threatening, but he's also provoking the youth. That's what Indian authorities continue to feel as far as his propaganda is concerned. He's also recruiting people for the execution of this attack. He says that not something like an attack on parliament, but through ballots we will do this. What exactly does he mean? Nobody knows, because he doesn't make sense mostly. But it is indeed a matter of concern, and India will raise it at all forums. You remember, yesterday we told you the story how he took certain protesters at the airport, and there was an anti-Air India protest that was planned. This was also something that was detrimental to the security of the airport operations and many Indians who wanted to get on the flight. Let me cut across to my colleague Abhishek and get more details on this entire story. Abhishek, the narrative just continues to get bitter by the day. By no standards, this is freedom of expression. This is an open threat to the Indian peace and sovereignty. The narrative coming in from him, and how the Canadian authorities have failed to take any kind of action.
Well, by no means this doesn't look like any way of having freedom of speech. So this clearly harboring a terrorist that these countries are allowing. In fact, we know that the Minister of External Affairs spokesperson has in the past, when the India-Canada bilateral ties were actually getting started, he had always said that Canada has started harboring and sheltering those terrorists and has become a safe haven for terrorists. Earlier, this term was used for only Pakistan from the Indian side. But now when we have seen Gurpatwant Singh Pannun, not once, not twice, but almost every week, he is coming out with a new threat. Earlier, we had seen that threat of, disrupting the flight and asking passengers and threatening them not to travel on Air India flights. Since then, we have started seeing some of the, a handful of these Khalistani people picketing near various airports in Canada, where they are trying to intimidate or scare passengers, Indian passengers who try to travel on Air India flights. Also, now he had said that earlier he had also threatened to disrupt the Cricket World Cup happening in India. Now he has also threatened that on 13th of December, which happens to be a very somber day because Indian Parliament had seen a massive heinous terrorist attack. On that day also, he's going to do something. So that something could never be a positive that India could take lightly, and this is a threat coming directly from a chief from an organization who has been banned, who has multiple criminal cases pending against him, and who is wanted criminal in Indian agencies' eye. And still, USA and Canada, these countries are not heeding to the cries or to the demands of Indian agencies and letting him propagate with whatever anti-India rhetoric he is trying to do in their from jobs.
Abhishek, one thing India has been successfully able to do is not to beat around the bush and keep this narrative at the center stage of diplomatic relations and argue that, look, this is not something which will be acceptable. You can't allow individuals like these a free run on the foreign soil, on your soil, and then expect relationship between the two countries to be all hail and hearty. That's something that has been communicated to the Canadian authorities. So far, if you track the journey right after G20, how has the response of Canadian authorities really been? Would you say that they have softened in their tone and tenor, or perhaps the Trudeau administration continues to dig its heels?
Well, see, Anusha, this issue between India and Canada has been going on for a very long time. And of course, Canada did not pay enough attention to the Indian side's demand and concerns. And that eventually resulted in ouster of about 41 Canadian diplomats from India. And that was part of the entire, saga, a nightmarish saga in the India-Canada bilateral relationship. Something of that nature it happen to the India, should not happen to the India-US relationship, is something that the two sides would want to have, because Pannun is a US citizen. He is living in USA. Sometimes he goes to Canada. So the onus is on both US and Canadian authorities to curb his movement, to stop him from giving anti-India statements and propagating anti-India
Yes.
sentiments in Canada, in USA, and the onus lies in on the government of these two countries.
Abhishek, as you get us all that perspective, Major General A.K. Sivach is joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Sivach, thank you, sir, for talking to us on The Nation at 5 today. I remember we chatted about this even yesterday when we were talking about the anti-India elements on the Canadian soil. Sustained diplomatic efforts, is that what it would take for India to ensure that these kind of elements are not allowed a free run? How do you see the posturing of countries like US when it comes to these elements on Canadian soil?
As far as Gurpatwant Singh Pannun is concerned, or other fringe elements which are Khalistani activists and sympathizers, they are passing all these statements, whether it is from US, Canada or UK. India should take it a very stern action, and at a diplomatic level, we should mean business to these countries. And now he's there in US and he's passing a comment like this, that he will, attack on a parliament before 13th December or on 13th December. This is not acceptable. You cannot allow such a thing to be spoken from your own country. I suppose America must also look into it, and they must take a stern action. They are a democratic country, but that does not mean the freedom of speech. You can go to an extent, start threatening the other country. So therefore, the point is, as on today, India has a muscle power. India is not a pushover now. We are the 5th largest economy, 4th largest military power. We must put it across to US, Canada or UK or any other country. If you allow these elements to pass anti-India sentiment, we are not going to accept it. And I suppose that pressure must be put at a diplomatic level and as well as government level. We cannot accept such type of behavior from all this anti-social element. And as it is, he is a terrorist, which we have declared it. There is a red corner, warrant issued by Interpol. He must be arrested for what he's saying. He has violated the law of the land, and he must be, sent back to India. As it is, we have already confiscated his property. But all said and done, this is a very serious matter. We must take it to the diplomatic and government level, to USA. Enough is enough. We can't allow such behavior from such people.
All right. Thank you so much, Major General Sivach, for joining us on the broadcast. Now, talking about the Jammu and Kashmir Reservation Bill 2023, that particular amendment was passed on the floor of the House today. And while the proceedings were underway on the floor of the Parliament, we had Union Minister, Home Minister Amit Shah, who said that it was the historical blunders and the legacy of the Congress party and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru that certain huge historical errors were made when it comes to Jammu and Kashmir. That particular bill that aims to restore the benefits that the Constitution has accorded to certain backward scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and various other economically and socially backward communities at par with the rest of the countries, those benefits are going to be accorded. Of course, it was a political storm. We also heard from Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, the leader of opposition on the floor of the House, who argued that it's wrong to blame the legacy of the Congress party or Pandit Nehru. First, listen in to what Union Home Minister Amit Shah said in the Parliament.
मैं जो बिल लेकर आया हूं, जो विधेयक लेकर इस महान सदन की सहमति प्राप्त करने के लिए मैं खड़ा हुआ हूं, वो बिल 70 सालों से जिन्हों को अन्याय हुआ है, जो अपमानित हुए और जिनकी अनदेखी की गई है, वो सभी लोगों को न्याय दिलाने का बिल है, उनको अधिकार दिलाने का। माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, ये बिल किसी भी समाज में जो डिप्राइव लोग होते हैं उनको आगे बढ़ाना चाहिए। ये भारतीय संविधान की मूल भावना है, परंतु उसके साथ साथ इसका सम्मान न कम हो, इस तरह से आगे बढ़ाना चाहिए। अधिकार देना और अधिकार सम्मान के साथ देना दोनों में बड़ा फर्क है। इसलिए कमजोर और वंचित वर्ग के जगह अन्य पिछड़ा वर्ग, ये नामकरण बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। ये दोनों चीजों को ढेर सारे प्रतिपक्ष के सदस्यों ने अलग अलग तरीके से थोड़ा कम आंकने की प्रयास भी किया। किसी ने कहा कि पहले से हो रहा था, किसी ने कहा कि सिर्फ नाम बदल रहा है। मैं इन सभी को कहना चाहता हूं कि अगर हमें पिछड़ा वर्ग के लोगों के प्रति जरा भी संवेदना है तो नाम के साथ उनका सम्मान जुड़ा है, वो जरूर देखा।
मैं जो कॉलेज में पढ़ाता था वो श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी के नाम में है। उनका जो स्लोगन एक प्रधान एक विधान एक निशान, वो उनका स्लोगन था, वो पॉलिटिकल स्लोगन था। लेकिन आज भी ये
माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, ये बहुत ऑब्जेक्शनल है। इस एक देश में एक निशान, एक प्रधान और एक संविधान, ये पॉलिटिकल स्टेटमेंट है। मुझे लगता है दादा उम्र हो चुकी है। एक देश में दो प्रधानमंत्री कैसे हो सकते हैं? एक देश में दो संविधान कैसे हो सकते हैं? एक देश के दो झंडे कैसे हो सकते हैं?
ये जो अपने दो जो विधा के लाए हैं, इसमें एक बड़ा चतुरता है। जम्मू में ज्यादा सुविधा दिया करो, कश्मीर में सुविधा को कटौती करो और सारे पॉपुलेशन के अंदर एक भेदभाव पैदा करो। यही तो है ना आपका मकसद। आप 35A तो हटा दिए, लेकिन डोमिसाइल लॉ के लिए जम्मू में भी मांग उठ रहे हैं, लद्दाख में भी मांग उठ रहे हैं। इसके लिए कोई जवाब आपके पास है? इसीलिए मैं कहता हूं कि ये जो बिल आप लाए हैं, हमें इसमें कोई आपत्ति नहीं है। आप ला सकते, लोगों को सुविधा जरूर दीजिए, लेकिन असलियत को छुपाना नहीं। असलियत को छुपाते अगर रहोगे तो मतलब आज नहीं तो कल देश आपको जरूर एक कहेंगे कि ये हमें धोखा दिए हैं।
Well, cutting across to my colleague Arunima, who will give us an understanding about what transpired on the floor of the House. Arunima, the narrative when it comes to Jammu and Kashmir and the changes, sweeping changes that the present government continues to get, it has always been about the historical blunders, quote unquote, of the Congress party.
And yes, that is what this debate was reduced to. You even saw a walkout by the Congress party because they had taken objections to what Home Minister Amit Shah was. Objections about their blunders, as Home Minister Amit Shah put it. And then it was followed by Bharatwari Mehtab also, who says these should be called Himalayan blunders. So what is the blunder that the Home Minister was referring to? Once again, the decision of delegations, they had an objection to that. They also had an objection to the fact that POK, that's what Home Minister pointed out. This is what the Treasury bench has also supported him by saying that the POK could have been a part of India if the ceasefire was delayed by 3 days. And that is the blunder that they were referring to. They even quoted Pandit Nehru's own communication with Sheikh Abdullah to bolster their point. But the Congress party, not happy with the allegations, walked out. All in all, even though this bill was about allowing people who are in Pakistan occupied Kashmir representation in Jammu and Kashmir Assembly, as and when Pakistan occupied Kashmir is taken back by India, that was the purpose of the bill. But it was reduced to yet another political meme. And even the reactions coming in from the valley, be it PDP, be it NC, they're all questioning the intention, the final intention of this bill.
All right, Arunima, thank you so much for putting all of that into perspective for us. That's what transpired on the floor of the House, the narrative coming in from the BJP and the Congress. Listen into some voices and reactions.
उस वक्त क्या स्थिति थी आपको ये पता है? ये कहते हैं हम मुजफ्फराबाद क्यों नहीं गए। उस वक्त पुंछ और राजौरी को बचाने के लिए फौज को डाइवर्ट कर दिया गया कि पुंछ और राजौरी बच जाए। आज पुंछ और राजौरी आज भारत का हिस्सा है, उसी मेहरबानी से है, नहीं तो वो भी गया होता पाकिस्तान की।
इससे पहले तो हम सुन रहे थे कि पीओके को वापस लाया जा रहा है। अब सिर्फ नुमाइंदगी पे ही बात खत्म हो गई। जहां तक नुमाइंदगी की बात है, हमने सीट रिजर्व करके रखे हैं ना। हमारे असेंबली में पीओके के लोगों के लिए सीटें रिजर्व हैं 47 से आज तक। वो अपना काम करें, उसके बाद सीटें भरें। तो अब बीजेपी जो इलेक्शन जीत के नहीं कर सकती है, वो अब रिजर्वेशन के तरीके से करने की कोशिश कर रही है। हर तरह से वो अब असेंबली में रिजर्वेशन के तहत अपनी सीटों को बढ़ाने का काम कर रहे हैं। हमें रिजर्वेशन से कोई एतराज नहीं है, हम रिजर्वेशन के हक में हैं। इससे पहले भी हमने रिजर्वेशन जो है लेडीज और इस तरह का दिया हुआ है, लेकिन रिजर्वेशन भरने का काम इलेक्टेड गवर्नमेंट को करना चाहिए।
Mohit, you're yourself a Kashmiri Pandit. Two important bills have been brought today. While Mehboob yesterday said that since the matter is sub judice, things cannot be made a law or you can be implemented and brought in the parliament. How do you see as a Kashmiri Pandit there are reservations for Kashmiri Pandits and OBCs?
See, as a Kashmiri Pandit, I would not disagree on the part that there was need of the reservation to preserve the political rights and the political identity of Kashmiri Pandits. There is no doubt about it. But the manner in which it is done, the manner in which, they are nominating people through an LG's office. I am against this process. I think it is more of a disempowerment rather than the empowerment. And why I say that is because there is a need that Kashmiri Pandits have been away from their homes for past 32, 33 years now altogether, and have lost almost all the connect with their roots.
Therefore, also see something which yesterday Umar Abdullah said, that this is a kind of a ploy by the BJP to make sure that they are able to get more seats through these reservations.
See, I don't know what Umar Abdullah said, but what how I look at it is that Kashmiri Pandits in Jammu are irrelevant to BJP. The majority votes is from Dogra. Say the Kashmiri Pandit doesn't fit in the scheme of things in Jammu. In Kashmir, the Muslim majority is in the scheme of the things. Again, the Kashmiri Pandit doesn't fit in the scheme of the things. But they want to use the Kashmiri Pandit card across India. They want to use this Kashmiri Pandit plight for their own electioneering. So they want to keep Kashmiri Pandit somehow happy and on their side. And that is why I think all this maneuvering is being done.
अध्यक्ष जी, बदलाव इतना ही है, पहले पथराव होते थे, लोगों को मारा जाता था। आज कोई पथराव 370-35A के बाद नहीं हो रहा है। 2011 की घटना बताता हूं। नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस की सरकार थी, तिरंगा झंडा में नहीं फहराने दिया, जेल में डाला था 2 विपक्ष के नेताओं को, लोकसभा के भी और राज्यसभा के। लेकिन आज लाल चौक पर भी क्या, कश्मीर की गली गली में तिरंगा झंडा फहराया जाता है। ये बड़ा बदलाव देखने को मिलता है। अगर और उदाहरण चाहिए तो और भी मिलेंगे, अब इस पे चर्चा होगी। लेकिन कलकत्ता में वहां पर बैठकर विकसित भारत की यात्रा को ना निकालने दिया जाए। देश में जो विकास नरेंद्र मोदी की सरकार कर रही है, उन गाड़ियों को वहां पर बंद कर दें और आप जेल में डाल दें। ये आपने बंगाल को क्या किया है, ये सुधार कश्मीर में हुआ है जो बंगाल को आपने बिगाड़ने का काम किया है।
We'll continue tracking this story and much more here on CNN News 18. For now, slipping into a very short break. Stay tuned, stay with us.
मम्मी
Welcome back, and let's get you some more updates about the crackdown that the Indian authorities have done on certain Chinese applications. About 100 such applications have been banned by India, and the primary reason is that this money was a part of illegal trade. It was being laundered via different channels by various digital platforms, eventually converted into cryptocurrency. And after going through multiple records and the details of these transactions, the government of India and the right authorities decided that these applications should be banned. Let's have a look at what this banning really involved and what are the details emerging. About 267 apps were blocked in 2020. In 2022, 54 of such Chinese applications were banned. And in 2023, about 138 betting, 94 loan lending and about 100 fraudulent websites were banned. This should not just be seen in the context of illegal money transactions which are happening, but also in the context of larger national security and the manner in which data is being mined by various Chinese companies at the behest of the Chinese government. Chinese surveillance and the data of Indian users is accessible to the Chinese government, and this is the sort of data mining which can be detrimental to our sovereign national interests. This data via applications can be used in intelligence analysis, and as they say that data is the new gold, that's something that Indian government and Indians need to be very, very careful of, not forgetting the kind of standoff and the continued standoff we have with the Chinese along the line of actual control, after which all these tensions heightened. Let me also cut across to my colleague Arunima, who will get us more details about why exactly this action was taken. Arunima, the details of the recent move by the government of India.
So, I don't know whether, Anusha, you received it, but over the last 6 months, I have been getting SMSs like many other people in the country saying, "Ghar baithe paise kamaye, aasani se paise kamaye." So what are these messages all about? Minister of Home Affairs and its associated agencies have carried out an investigation and realized that these are fraudulent cyber crimes that are being carried out by people sitting across, perhaps in China or somewhere outside the country. What is their modus operandi? They tell you that all you need to do after receiving these messages is, deposit a very minimal amount in a particular account, usually a UPI ID. And the job that they want you to do is like videos or subscribe to YouTube videos or do some other similar act which doesn't take a lot of effort to do. In return, you give them a hefty commission initially, and once you get hooked to it, then you're asked to invest more money. So the more money you transfer to the UPI account, the more commission there will be for you. Ultimately, after you've deposited a considerable amount, the entire UPI ID goes bust. There is no communication phone number, no communication email ID, and you realize that you have been defrauded. That is why these 100 plus apps have been banned by Ministry of Home Affairs and Ministry of Information and Technology, with an advisory to people as to how to be careful really. What is it that they should do if they receive such a message? How should they go about it?
Absolutely. Arunima, moving forward, when we talk about these applications being banned and the government continues to take a periodic review, is there a broader policy which governs these actions of the Indian government? Betting has been a huge problem. Fraudulent transactions happening and the kind of messages that you were talking about has been a huge concern. But is this only a response or a reaction that we are seeing from the government, or you also apprehend that this will be a sustained measure by the government, periodically reviewable?
So it is a sustained measure. In fact, I foresee the Ministry of Home Affairs wing, which is dealing with cybercrime, I foresee is a new agency which has been created just to look at the cyber criminals. They are constantly reinventing. They're constantly, even though they're getting banned, and if you look at the history, when Galwan happened, that was the first tranche of Chinese apps that were banned, including popular ones like TikTok or gaming apps like PUBG. Even those were banned, creating a lot of hue and cry. But the government kept at it, and since then, they're periodically reviewing. There are loan apps which have been banned. There are gaming applications that have been banned. This one offering you easy job or easy money. So they're constantly reviewing and going ahead, but at the same time, seeking cooperation of people, seeking cooperation of Indians, not to indulge with data sharing with unknown people, not to give in to the lure of easy money, and generally be aware and not make it easy for cyber criminals.
All right. Thank you, Arunima, for putting that into perspective and telling us about what kind of sustained measures can be expected from the government of India. Moving on and talking about another important story. After Karni Sena chief was shot down and the entire incident was captured on a CCTV camera, there is protest, there are shutdowns, local demonstrations that have been witnessed in different parts of Rajasthan. In fact, the Karni Sena workers have hit the ground running and have even questioned the authorities. A huge war of words has broken out between the Congress party party and the BJP, which have blamed each other for this dastardly incident. Karni Sena chief at his home was shot dead by 2 assailants. All of this was captured on a CCTV camera. We played out those visuals earlier as well that showed. The police says that the investigation is underway and they're on a lookout for the accused.
सुखदेव सिंह गोगामेडी की हत्या के विरोध में राजपूत करनी सेना ने बंद कराना शुरू कर दिया है और इस वक्त जयपुर के खातीपुरा में विरोध प्रदर्शन शुरू हो गया। आप देखिए कि बाजार इस वक्त बंद करा दिए गए हैं और यहाँ पर बीच में टायर जलाकर प्रदर्शन किया जा रहा। आप देखिए कि दुकानें लगभग पूरा मार्केट लगभग यहाँ पर बंद हो गया और यहाँ पर करनी सेना के कार्यकर्ता यहाँ पर पहुँच गए हैं और प्रदर्शन लगातार जारी है। आप देखिए कि विरोध प्रदर्शन की तस्वीरें आप देख सकते हैं कि पूरा मार्केट यहाँ पर बंद है और इस वक्त यहाँ पर अलग अलग जगह पे पुलिस यहाँ पर डिप्लॉयड की गई है, लेकिन यहाँ पर प्रदर्शन है वो लगातार। आप देखिए कि मार्केट लगभग यहाँ पर बंद नज़र आ रहा है और ये तस्वीर आप देखिए कि पूरे इस बाज़ार की खातीपुरा तिराहे की यहाँ पर लगातार। क्या कहेंगे आप?
कहना क्या है, समाज ने बहुत कोई नुक खोया हमारा एक राजस्थान का।
क्या मार्केट आप बाजार बंद करा रहे हैं?
बिल्कुल बंद करा रहे हैं। राजस्थान नहीं, जयपुर नहीं, हिंदुस्तान बंद कराएंगे जब तक हमारा टारगेट रहेगा हमारा।
और यह खातीपुरा पूरा बंद है?
बिल्कुल, खातीपुरा जोटड़ पूरा बंद है, वैशाली पूरा बंद है।
पूरा बाजार बंद करें?
बिल्कुल पूरा बंद करेंगे, जयपुर बंद करेंगे, राजस्थान बंद करेंगे, भारत बंद करेंगे।
तो आप देखिए कि ये गुस्सा कहीं न कहीं नजर आ रहा है, यहाँ पर समर्थकों के अंदर नजर आ रहा है यहाँ। और यहाँ आप बताएं क्या हुआ? पूरा बाजार बंद करा रहे हैं?
पूरा बाजार बंद है क्योंकि सर्व समाज का भाई था वो कोई नेता नहीं था। और उसने जब सुरक्षा की मांग की थी माननीय अशोक गहलोत जी की सरकार, माननीय अशोक गहलोत जी से, तो उन्हें क्यों सुरक्षा नहीं दी गई? हम चाहते हैं जिस प्रकार अपराधियों ने एनकाउंटर किया वैसे उन अपराधियों का सरे बाजार एनकाउंटर होना चाहिए।
महिपाल जी क्या चाहते हैं?
हम न्याय चाहते हैं। दुर्दांत तरीके से घर में घुस के मारा है, गोलियों से बौछार करके मारी है। पुलिस प्रशासन के पास गोलियों की कमी नहीं है। अपराधियों की गोलियों की कोई कमी पड़ती होगी, पुलिस के पास नहीं है। और पुलिस के पास इसका 3-3 आदमी 2-2 आदमी मारे गए हैं, निर्दोष आदमियों को मार दिया गया है। एक भारत का राजपूत समाज का सबसे बड़े लीडरों में से एक लीडर आज हमारे साथ नहीं रहा और केवल प्रशासन की अनदेखी। 3 साल से प्रशासन को खुद गार्ड मुहैया कराने के लिए अरदास कर रहा था। हर जाके गली, हर किसी भी दर पे जाना पड़े उनको, डीजी से लेके आईजी, यहाँ के कमिश्नर के पास मैंने देखा है। सैकड़ों यहाँ के जो भी मंत्री थे उनके किसी का भी दरवाज़ा उन्होंने छोड़ा नहीं। हर दरवाजे को खटखटाया कि मुझे गार्ड मिलने चाहिए, सुरक्षा मुहैया मुझे करवाओ, क्योंकि मुझे धमकियाँ मिल रही है। वो खुद मान रहे थे।
जो मूसेवाला हत्याकांड के बाद में लगातार ये जो रोहित गोदारा का नाम आ रहा है, पहले राजू ठेठ, फिर अब ये
NIA जब मूसेवाला हत्याकांड की जांच कर सकती है तो इसको भी करना चाहिए। आतंकवादी संगठन उनको घोषित कर चुके हैं, तो क्यों नहीं नेशनल लेवल, इंटरनेशनल लेवल पर अपने राजनीतिक जो इनके संबंध है उनको यूज करें। हर कंट्री में इनके राजनीतिक संबंध इन्होंने बना रखे हैं। अब तो हर किसी कंट्री से ये उठाने की बात कर रहे हैं। किसी भी अपराधी को रेड कॉर्नर नोटिस जारी करके वहाँ से उठा लेते हैं, तो फिर इसको क्यों नहीं कर रहे? सरेआम छाती ठोक के ये पूरे देश को चैलेंज कर रहा है।
सलमान खान तक
पूरा पाकिस्तान, पूरा पंजाब उद्वेलित था मूसेवाला हत्याकांड में, पूरा राजस्थान आधा उद्वेलित था यहाँ सीकर राजू ठेठ हत्याकांड में, और पूरा देश उद्वेलित होगा इस कांड में।
पहली प्रतिक्रिया ये है कि बहुत ही निंदनीय घटना है ये, और राजस्थान में जो कांग्रेस शासन में कानून व्यवस्था लचर हुई थी उसका ये परिणाम है। हमारी डिमांड है कि अपराधियों को तुरंत से तुरंत पुलिस पकड़े।
गुड्डा साहब, ये इस तरीके का ये जो पूरा घटनाक्रम हुआ, सुखदेव सिंह गोगामेडी को हत्यारों ने घर में घुसकर मार दिया, क्या कुछ कहेंगे?
देखिए, ये सामान्य मर्डर नहीं है, इसके लिए सरकार जिम्मेदार है। इसको थ्रेट थी और अलग अलग साइड से थ्रेट थी। ये इंटेलिजेंसी इनपुट हमारी सरकार के, राजस्थान की सरकार के पास था, ये हमारी पुलिस के पास था, गृह मंत्रालय के पास था। ये उसके बावजूद हजारों बार सिक्योरिटी मांगी गई थी, हजारों बार।
राजेंद्र गुड्डा खुद सरकार में रहे हैं, खुद सरकार के मंत्री रहे हैं, फिर उसके बावजूद इस तरीके का थ्रेड क्यों? जब सरकार के पास इनपुट था, राजेंद्र गुड्डा उस मंत्रिमंडल में था, क्यों नहीं इस तरीके का जब मुद्दा उठाया?
अशोक गहलोत गृह मंत्री था, जो मुख्यमंत्री भी है, वित्त मंत्री भी, गृह मंत्री, उसने एक नहीं सुनी, 1000 बार कहने के बाद उसने नहीं सुनी। रिटर्न में दिया था, अधिकारियों से मिले थे, नहीं सुनी।
ये जो पूरा घटनाक्रम हुआ है, इसका जिम्मेदार आप किसे ठहराते हैं?
मैं तो इस मशीनरी को ठहराता हूँ। ये जो सरकार की मशीन है, इसके अंदर खाकी और खादी दोनों इन्वॉल्व है। जिन्होंने जिस चीज को अंजाम दिया, वो सीक्रेट नहीं था, वो तो सरेआम था कि हम मारेंगे, और उसके बाद भी इनको बताया कि थ्रेट है, उसके बाद हुआ ये, तो किसका फेलियर है?
Let's move on to another important story. You'd remember that comment that came from Senthil Kumar of the DMK MP, who called the North Indian states a cow belt and said BJP can only win in these parties. After there was a huge uproar and backlash against that comment, the Member of Parliament has apologized for his statement. But it looks like that the apology has not gone down well with the BJP. They have taken pot shots at the BJP and the Congress and asked them questions about, is this really the narrative that they want to propagate, dividing the north and the south of the country? Listen in to some reactions and voices coming in.
Speaker sir, the statement made by me yesterday inadvertently, if it had hurt the sentiments of the members and sections of the people, I would like to withdraw it. And I request the words to be expunged from the and regret it. Thank you.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी के हम ही सभी सांसद यहाँ आपके समक्ष आए हैं कि उनको माफी मांगने में क्या तकलीफ है, और अगर वो माफी नहीं मांग रहे हैं तो हमें लगता है कि राहुल गांधी जी भी उनके साथ खड़े हैं, हमें लगता है शिवसेना के उद्धव ठाकरे भी उनके साथ खड़े हैं, हमें लगता है डीएमके के स्टालिन भी उनके साथ खड़े हैं, हमें लगता है केरल के मुख्यमंत्री भी उनके साथ खड़े हैं, हमें लगता है कर्नाटक के मुख्यमंत्री भी उनके साथ खड़े हैं। इतना बड़ा बयान देने के बाद, वो भी लोकसभा के फ्लोर के बाद, और माफी भी नहीं मांगना, चोरी और सीनाचोरी, ये हम आपको बताने आए।
ये इंडिया ब्लॉक की मानसिकता नहीं है, ये कुछ लोगों की मानसिकता है जो नॉर्थ वर्सेस साउथ करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। मैं इसकी कड़ी निंदा करती हूं, और मैं साथ ही में कहूंगी कि कुछ रॉन्ग इंटरप्रिटेशन नहीं निकाला गया है। जो उन्होंने कहा है वो बहुत ही, आई वुड से, आश्चर्यजनक है और शर्मनाक भी है।
हम कभी इस देश में लोगों को बांटते नहीं है। इनकी इच्छा यही रहती है कि लोग कितने माइग्रेट हुए, इधर से उधर कितने लोग गए, और ये मानसिकता तो इनके रोज के बयानों में भी दिखती है। कभी बोलते हैं उत्तर भारत दक्षिण भारत में बांट देते हैं देश को, कभी अलग अलग जाति में बांट देते हैं। ये टुकड़े टुकड़े की मानसिकता देश को बहुत खतरनाक नुकसान दे रही है। कभी कोई इनका व्यक्ति बोलता है दक्षिण भारत में कुछ है, उत्तर भारत में कुछ है। क्या ये सब अपने आप को एसोसिएट करते हैं उस माननीय सांसद से जिसने देश में आपके सदन में कल जो वक्तव्य दिया था? क्या ये उससे अपने आप को जोड़ के, क्या ये इंडिया अलायंस के सब माननीय सांसद इस प्रकार से देश को तोड़ना चाहते हैं? ये जरूर इसका जवाब दें।
We respect all religions, we respect all religious texts, we respect everybody's faith, because India is a secular country by constitution, and one is free to preach, practice, profess any religion and any faith. These kind of comment calling North Indian states as a Gomutra Pradesh, we condemn it. This is a very serious matter because you hurt these sentiments of what people. We don't subscribe to it. Whatever suitable action that has to be taken as per law should be taken against him.
Hello Moto. Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
Let's have a quick check of some key stories from across the country. Revanth Reddy will be sworn in as the Telangana Chief Minister. That's all set to happen on Thursday. Preparations are underway at Hyderabad's Lal Bahadur Shastri Stadium for the oath-taking ceremony of the new Telangana government. Sonia Gandhi is also likely to attend the Telangana Chief Minister's swearing-in ceremony tomorrow. The residents of Chennai continue to grapple without electricity, essentials, water and power as Cyclone Nisha has hit the state. Cutting across party lines, BJP workers have come forward to provide relief materials to the people affected by the cyclone. Tamil Nadu BJP Chief K. Annamalai took stock of the waterlogged streets at the AJS colony in Velachery affected by the cyclone. Bandipur police attached about 14 marla of the residential land at Ashtengo, Bandipora in a case. The property of a terror associate in the particular area of North Kashmir's Bandipur district was attached under UAPA. The land belongs to the family of a terror associate of LET Irfan Ahmad Bhatt. According to police, his brother also infiltrated to Pakistan back in about 2000. As a statewide education strike, the Students' Federation of India staged a protest march outside Raj Bhavan in Thiruvananthapuram against Governor Arif Muhammad Khan. This is over the Kannur University Vice-Chancellor appointment issue. The protest turned violent at several locations. 300 police personnel along with rapid response teams have been deployed to bring the situation down and to keep it under control. The death toll from Israel-Gaza war has surpassed about 16,200, including 7,000 children. Israel has intensified its assault on Gaza's south. In a reported massacre attack in Khan Yunis, a school sheltering displaced people was hit, resulting in about 30 deaths. Israeli tanks have besieged the Kamal Adwan Hospital, one of the last functioning hospitals in North Gaza. We continue tracking that story and much more here on CNN News 18. For now, slipping into a very short break.
When it was about farm fires in Punjab, why did you dilly-dally on it? Why did you blame everybody else on it? Till today, when the Supreme Court had to wrap you, I'm sorry to say, when it comes to farm fires, it is not a collective responsibility. It is the state government responsibility.
If in Islam they don't recognize caste, under what criteria are you giving Muslims caste-based reservation? What am I going to call that? And what are you doing with IT parks only for Muslims, sir? Is there one for Hindus?
ये 17 दिन सबके लिए बहुत चुनौतीपूर्ण थे। पूरा देश आपके ऊपर निगाहें बनाया हुआ था।
जब हमारे भाई इतना बड़ा संघर्ष कर रहे हैं, उनके परिजन इतने कष्ट में हैं, तभी हमारी असली दिवाली होगी जिस दिन हमारे सभी श्रमिक भाई आ जाएंगे।
Manner in which every challenge, every obstacle that was thrown at the rescue team, they came up with a solution for it. 41 workers, neither did they lose their high spirits, neither did they lose hope. They always knew that help was at hand, it was just a matter of time.
Brought to you.
All right, some latest news coming in. About 250 passengers of SpiceJet get into a heated argument after the airline fails to provide them a passenger despite hours of waiting. Now, this was a flight which was scheduled to take off from Bengaluru. This happened at the Bengaluru airport. The flight was scheduled from Bengaluru to Mumbai. It was scheduled to take off at around 5 a.m. but till about afternoon the flight did not take off, and that's when the passengers got into a heated argument. We'll try and connect with Harish and get more details on this entire story. Harish, tell us more about what happened at the airport. And I can tell you from my personal experience that this is not the first incident of this nature. For SpiceJet, the airline has been bleeding, short of staff and planes. But what happened in this particular incident?
Absolutely, trouble mounts for SpiceJet. This was a Bengaluru to Mumbai flight that was scheduled to take off at 5 in the morning. It got delayed. The SpiceJet staff have informed the passenger that it was rescheduled for 8 in the morning. Once again, it's been delayed. And now they're being told that perhaps at 8 in the evening is when it might take off. And that's one of the main reasons why in the afternoon, around 250 passengers lost cool and got into a heated argument on why SpiceJet was continuously rescheduling it without giving a reason on what the issue was. They were just merely being told that there was a technical issue with the aircraft, but the passengers unhappy with it, saying that they should have been told much earlier on how much time it would take to get an aircraft and get them on board. The other frustration for the passengers is that in fact they were made to board the aircraft, wait inside the aircraft for roughly 3 hours. It's what the passengers are alleging at this point in time.
All right. Thank you, Harish, for putting all of that into perspective. Let me also try and cut across to some more breaking news coming in. And this is coming in from the BJP. There's an important meeting where the Home Minister is meeting the Prime Minister at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg. Mr. JP Nadda is also currently meeting the party General Secretary at the party headquarters, following which he is also likely to go to the Prime Minister's residence. What exactly is this meeting about and what is likely to happen? Let me try and cut across to my colleague Payal and get more details on this entire story. Payal, tell us more about these meetings, please.
Well, of course, there's a lot of speculation that has been doing the rounds in terms of how the BJP will go about making its CM faces in all the 3 states, and also the fact that the party so far has not announced any central observers. So, a crucial round of meeting took place yesterday between the top leaders of the BJP at the Prime Minister's residence, and currently also a meeting is taking place at the Prime Minister's residence. We're given to understand that Union Home Minister Amit Shah is currently at the Prime Minister's residence. JP Nadda, the party's national president, is currently undertaking a meeting at the party headquarters of the party General Secretary, following which he is also likely to join the meeting at the Prime Minister's residence.
All right. Thank you so much for putting all of that into perspective, Pal. We'll continue coming back to you. Let's now take you through the updates coming in from the cyclone hit state of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. Cyclone Misha made a landfall at Andhra Pradesh Baptala yesterday. Heavy waterlogging has been witnessed in different parts. There are various districts that continue to face problems. Electricity has been restored in Chennai. There were certain deaths that were reported in Tamil Nadu. A message that came from the Chief Minister and the Prime Minister himself expressing condolences for the lives that have been lost. Yes, rescue and relief operations are on. There are also efforts underway to ensure that the life gets back to normal as soon as possible. Playing out some ground reports for you.
The NDRF teams are trying to help people. Those are the people who have been stranded here in Velachery, and water bottles, biscuit packets are being given to them. Remember, on the first floor and on the second floor of this apartment in Velachery, they do not have drinking water. There has been no power cut for the last. There has been power cut for the last 3 days, and people here do not have drinking water. So right now, drinking water bottles, biscuit packets are being given to them. This is the NDRF team. We are in fact traveling with them in the boat to try and help those who are stranded. Some of them want to stay in their respective apartments, but they do not have essential commodities. So water bottles, snacks are being delivered to those who have been stranded. Some of them who want to be rescued from their apartments and be taken out of Velachery. This boat will help those who have been stranded. Some of them, as you can see, just need water bottles and snacks, biscuit packets and snacks being given. And during lunchtime, food will also be delivered to those who are in need. Remember, it's been 2 days since the incessant rain stopped, but many people, especially in areas like Velachery, Tambaram, continue to remain stranded. Many of them have shifted to the first floor or the second floor, and no power biscuits, snacks, all these are being delivered because they do not have essential supplies stocked, and you can see a lot of help done by the NDRF teams here. From morning they've been constantly going and helping those who have been stranded. Rescue operations are underway here at Velachery by the NDRF teams. You can see a boat now trying to ensure that those who've been stranded for the last 3 days are rescued and taken out of this place. All these areas in Velachery continue to remain inundated, whether it's families including children, senior citizens, all the family members have been stranded here. The entire place here does not have electricity, basic essentials including water, food not available to many families. NDRF teams have been constantly trying to ensure that they come here to rescue these people who have been stranded, and also while coming to pick them up, they are trying to bring water bottles, snacks to deliver it to those who've been stranded here. Children, family members, all of them stranded here for 3 days. No power, no essential commodities made available to the residents here in Velachery. Situation is the same in places like Velachery and Tambaram and Pallikarne as well. A lot of family members have been stranded for the last 3 days, and now efforts are on to rescue them and to take them out of these inundated areas. Velachery continues to remain inundated. Water level here in these areas are between 3 feet and 7 feet, and that's why boats have been used here to displace those who've been stranded here. And this is the work that's done by the NDRF team here. 2 boats by NDRF here in Velachery.
Hello Moto. Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
This is Velachery, one of the worst hit areas. It's been 2 days since the rains stopped, since the incessant rain stopped, but the situation is still grim in places like Velachery, and the NDRF teams, they are monitoring the situation. There are boats ferrying those who've been stranded, and here you have children, you have a pregnant woman, you have a senior citizen. All of them were stranded for the last 3 days. There has been no electricity in these areas for the last 3 days, and basic commodities and including food and drinking water were not available to them. So the NDRF teams are bringing in water bottles, snacks, and delivering it to those who need water and snacks, and are also trying to rescue the stranded. Here you can see children who are 3 years and 6 years old. You can see a pregnant woman, you can see a senior citizen, all of them being rescued. They were stranded for the last 3 days. The situation looks grim here.
Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. There seems to be a growing unease amongst the partners of the INDIA bloc after Congress's recent poll drubbing, with allies grumbling about the way the National Party insisted on fighting the elections on its own. The growing chasm is visible amongst the allies as 3 non-Congress chief ministers and a former chief minister are not joining today's group meeting, an informal one at that has been hurriedly called by the Congress. This at a time when questions are being raised about the very future of this grouping. RJD chief Lalu Prasad Yadav in fact announced that the formal meeting will happen on December 17, even as the big task of seat sharing lies undone. Barely any time left now before the general elections of 2024 are announced. After this recent state election drubbing, Congress will find itself in a difficult position if it wants to lead this alliance. But after this result, what is also clearer is that the task of beating the BJP even jointly in 2024 is nearly impossible. So will this India bloc recover from the December 2023 results and continue to push on? Or will these results break the back of this alliance? We'll take that question to our guests in just a bit. The informal meeting of the INDIA bloc is taking place today. Let's take a quick look though at the key leaders that are not attending this meeting today. So Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin not attending, occupied as is possibly expected with Cyclone Michong review and rescue preparations. Now, he's a key player that impacts the grouping because 39 Lok Sabha seats in Tamil Nadu where the DMK and the Congress combined are going to be the big front runners. ahead of BJP and others. Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav also skipping this meeting. He too has cited prior commitments. Remember, UP has 80 Lok Sabha seats, and after his comments, it is unclear what kind of alliance will be possible in the state between parties like the Samajwadi Party and the Congress. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee skipping the meeting, citing prior commitments. She even came on record to say she wasn't even informed well in time. Now, West Bengal has 42 seats in Lok Sabha. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar citing illness and not joining this meeting today. Bihar has 40 Lok Sabha seats. Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren citing government engagement and skipping today's meeting as well. Jharkhand has 14 seats in the Lok Sabha. If you tally all of these, if there's going to be no coordination on these, it's already December, hardly any time left. How are you going to work out the seat sharing arrangements, and whether are you going to be able to do that, whether there's going to be enough time to do it, remains a big question. Also, because knives are out as far as the India Alliance partners are concerned, Congress's drubbing has invited a lot of criticism from its partners. In a strongly worded statement hitting out at the Congress, remember SP Chief Akhilesh Yadav had said that these results show how ego ends, ego of the Congress party. That Congress also lost 5% vote share by not giving the 5 to 7 seats that they were asking for Congress in Madhya Pradesh. TMC's Kunal Ghosh had asserted that this is Congress's failure, not BJP's victory. Well, that statement can be debated, but he also goes on to say that Congress should do some introspection after this loss. JDU MLA Rinku Singh had said that Congress's statements against Sanatan Dharm backfired and had a negative impact on polls, while senior leader KC Tyagi said that Congress should have fought the polls with the allies. It's not just about seat sharing. None of the leaders of the larger India bloc were even campaigning in any of these states for the Congress party. RJD leader Shakti Yadav said that the defeat of the Congress was not that of the alliance, but that of the Congress alone, and that they must analyze the reasons for these defeats. That remains the larger challenge for the Congress party. Meanwhile, National Conference Vice President Omar Abdullah sounded very pessimistic. He said if these trends continue, that the India Alliance will implode, they will not be able to save themselves, and that Congress fails to understand the ground reality. They failed to even read the ground mood. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan too, his party is part of the India Alliance, hit out at the Congress party saying Congress thought they could fight it alone without taking any of the allies along, and that no one could touch them, no one could face them. But that's not the truth, clearly, especially in the very, very dominant and important part of northern central India, where the Congress and other parties need to do well to get into the Lok Sabha. Pinarayi Vijayan also going on to say this is Congress being greedy for power. That is why this has spelled their doom. Now, after Congress's poll drubbing, the India bloc faces tremendous challenges. Number one is the challenge that there is no unity between them. Congress has already set a very bad precedent by not really doing any state-level alliances with the alliance partners. Samajwadi Party accusing it of betrayal in Madhya Pradesh. That also leads to no coherent message. Everybody is speaking in their own tongues. They have their own messages. In fact, statements by one party, for example, the DMK, hurt the Congress and others in northern India. There is no clear messaging by the parties. Against a strong BJP, this is a big problem because they have very clear messaging and reasons why they should come to power. There is also new power blocks or splintered power blocks, with Congress's appeal lessening and allies becoming more demanding. Will Congress be okay in playing a lesser role? Will they be humbled? Or will they insist that as the only national party, they should be leading this alliance? Remains to be seen. Seat sharing. Now, this is the biggest challenge for them. How are they going to be able to put up a joint candidate in as many as 400 Lok Sabha seats, if at all they manage that much, even 300? They are rivals in state assembly elections. They don't see eye to eye. They don't share any seats. Even in cases where they share seats, the results haven't been very nice, certainly in the north part of India. In some other parts, either there's a very dominant partner and a very smaller partner, not really any equal partners. Can they do this seat sharing for 2024 Lok Sabha polls remains a very, very big question. And many feel that this is already too late. They should have already worked this out by now. Finally, the face of the alliance. The already muddled question gets even more unclear after Congress's defeat. More opposition to Rahul Gandhi's positioning, mind you, by the Congress party. And again, against a big face like Narendra Modi, can a no-face strategy, which the alliance has been insisting on, that we are 10 chief ministers or so, we don't need any one face, can that really work? Let's take all of those questions to our guest joining us. The big question we're asking is this: can the INDIA bloc recover from these December 2023 results?
I was not informed also earlier, but day before yesterday Rahulji phoned me and he told me about the meeting. Then I said, you just nobody told me and I do not know.
अब आजकल न्यूज छप रहा था कि हम नहीं जा रहे हैं, फालतू बात है। अरे बीच में हमको बुखार न था जी, अब बाद में जब आगे होगा तो हम नहीं जाएंगे, ये कैसे संभव है जी।
जो लग रहा है हाल में ही जो चुनाव के परिणाम आए हैं, इससे इंडिया गठबंधन और मजबूत होगा।
पर कहीं भी किसी तरीके की दिक्कत नहीं है। जल्द से जल्द मुलाकात होगी और इंडिया अलायंस में जो भी आगे की रणनीति होगी वो तय करेंगे।
देखो, ये सब के सब जनता को बेवकूफ बनाने का, जनता की आंखों में धूल चटाने का, धूल झोंकने का ये कुत्सित प्रयास।
Hello, Moto.
Let's go across to our guest joining us. Charu Pragya, spokesperson of the BJP. Ram Mohan Reddy is from the Congress party. Sanjeev Srivastava is senior journalist, and also Biswadeep Deb, spokesperson of the TMC, is joining us. Mr. Deb, why don't I begin with you? What do you see the future of this alliance, especially after the Congress lost in 3 key states in the northern part of India? Has that helped your alliance? Some feel that it has brought Congress to its place. It was maybe flying too high. You were not liking their attitude. Samajwadi Party has said so. It has brought them down to earth, and maybe they can work as equals. Or has this hurt the India alliance's prospects?
You see, Congress should understand that this is an alliance. India alliance is an alliance of several parties and several leaders across the countries coming together with one particular agenda. That agenda is we have to remove this autocratic government from the center in 2024. But unfortunately, Congress thought that they can make it on their own. And they didn't want to discuss with their other alliance partners, and they want to do it alone. And the result is what we could see in Rajasthan, what we can see in Chhattisgarh, and what would have seen in Madhya Pradesh. Congress shall have to introspect. They have to think over the entire issue. They have to understand that they cannot fight it alone. You see, Mamata Banerjee has already proved. She has proved in Bengal how to resist BJP. She has shown the way that how BJP can be resisted.
Okay, but can I ask you a counter question?
She has done it.
In Bengal, Mamata Banerjee or your party is not going to give much space to the Congress party. So why should the Congress cede this space in Madhya Pradesh, in Rajasthan, in Chhattisgarh to other parties?
It's not a question of giving space. It's a question we have already said. Our leader Mamata Banerjee has already said. Our leader Abhishek Banerjee has already said that one thing. They have made it clear that whoever is strong in which particular region, that party should contest. But they should understand the minimum percentage of votes which are also being enjoyed by the other opposition parties and which are in the India bloc, they should also be given proper respect. You see, what BJP is doing, BJP is now so much frustrated that they are making personal comments even against Mamata Banerjee. Today you can see that what Giriraj Singh has done. She has made shameful comments against Mamata Banerjee. Earlier, Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya, he has also made shameless and shameful remarks against the women.
Okay, I don't want to get into that because we'll open up a Pandora's box of who said what when. Because there are statements by all leaders, including Mamata Banerjee, that can be, that can be construed as personal or derogatory. But so I don't want to get into that space. But let Mr. Reddy respond to what Mr. Deb has said. Mr. Reddy, your alliance partners are really fed up of the Congress party, in its own ivory tower, when the reality on the ground is completely different.
अलग भाषा अलग वेश फिर भी अपना एक देश भिन्नता में एकता यही इस देश की विशेषता. I just wanted to attribute that to the India alliance as well. See, there might be differences. Yes, there may be some remarks, passed against each other, but 100% they are all going to be aligned, and definitely we are going to progress. And general tendency of voters to change government at central level is being seen from past histories as well, right? So it's not a matter of having debates when it comes to assembly segments. When it goes to the parliamentary sections or sharing of seats, 100% there will be an amicable solution.
How?
So no, there will be. The deliberations will be made. See,
will the Congress be willing to concede space? Samajwadi Party is very upset. You didn't even give them 7 seats in Madhya Pradesh. Where is the Congress willing to concede space to other regional parties?
Let me be very clear. All this alliance is all about sharing of parliamentary seats.
Yes.
It is not about sharing assembly seats.
Fair enough. But in parliamentary seats, how are you going to come to a conclusion?
We will come to a conclusion because our common agenda is to bring down the Narendra Modi's government. When NDA can continue with, coming out of around 21 parties from NDA from past 10 years, counting from Shiromani Akali Dal as well, which has been with them from the initiation of this NDA. So they came out.
No. I think you're making a very, no, I'm sorry, Mr. Reddy, you're making a very ludicrous comparison, if I may say so. The NDA is surviving because the BJP alone is the single largest party and has majority. Nobody in the India alliance can boast of those numbers, certainly not the Congress party. So how can you even compare how the NDA is functioning and surviving versus what the India bloc is doing?
It is all about polling percentage. If you just compare the last election polling percentage and this time general tendency of voters to change the governments. If you just consider all together, this time we are going to have a fruitful result. But when it comes to the alliance and understanding of seats, sharing of seats, we are going to have understanding. Undoubtedly, we will have we will share seats amicably.
Is it not too late? Mr. Deb, can I just quickly ask him before I go to our other guest? Mr. Deb, is it already not too late? There was a great momentum of the India bloc. Its first meeting in June, then a meeting in July, then a meeting in August. Now we're in December and maybe by mid-December there will be another meeting. It's clear the Congress and others were preoccupied with these state elections. Nobody was really caring about, taking forward the coordination of the India bloc. Is it already not too late?
No, I don't think it's too late. But the Congress should understand. You see, they are the major players in Chhattisgarh, in Madhya Pradesh, and in Rajasthan. So they should have considered that even a party enjoying 1 or 1.5% vote is a very important factor. And they should have taken them into consideration. The reason is, it is India bloc. And we cannot take any chance. Congress thought that they can do it alone.
No, but sir, Mr. Reddy has a point.